West Ham take on Fulham at Craven Cottage on Saturday in what is another must-win game. Or is it? Is it just simply a must-not-lose? Reports are coming out that the board are looking to sack Moyes if we lose the game. A point could be enough to keep him in a job for another week, which just, again, absolutely ridiculous from the board. Just decide, make a decision. Having everything hinge on, 2 points, things like that, difference between 1 point or 2-3 points or no points, all of that. Absolute waste of time. If they're that point would have lost faith in him, like many of the fans have, get rid and get an interim in, because I honestly think he's lost the players. That Newcastle game, yes, a lot of individual errors there, but we are where we are in the table this season, not just down to individual errors, but down to absolutely poor, shocking management from David Moyes. I saw a stat that said 15 wins in our last 55 games. Just 15 wins since December 2021. That's 42 points out of a possible 165. And we're making excuses for David Moyes. There's still people backing him. There's still people making excuses. Still people blaming the players. Oh, it's the players, it's the players. Which ones? The ones he signed or the ones he didn't sign? The ones he picks every week or the ones that are on the bench? The ones that he coaches every single week? Whose fault is it really? It comes down to David Moyes. Even that game, when you look at it, there was some bright sparks, some bright spells, right? We scored another set piece, whoop-de-doo. I saw something like that. We haven't scored from open play since like early Feb as well. So goals are drying up from open play, but we're starting to score set pieces again. But yeah, shocking man management of the game, with his substitutions. That doesn't help. Yes, the players completely losing the plot doesn't help, but the shocking substitutions don't help either. And we go to Fulham, who have had a great season. Absolutely brilliant they've been. Hats off to them. No one expected them to be anywhere near a race for Europe. Great players they've got there. Dekova Reed, Mitrovic, who I'll talk about in a sec, Solomon, Willian, which has been a revelation of a signing, who I believe is back for this game. People thought he was finished after Arsenal, and he just popped back, and he's been unbelievable for Fulham. Him coming back, if he's back for our game, which I believe he is a massive boost for them. Even though they will be missing Mitrovic, who's got an 8-game ban for pushing the ref, and you can't do that. You can't put hands on the ref, but it's ridiculous. Players have got less time for that than for racism. You can't ever allow players to put hands on refs. But come on, like 8 games. I mean, I'm glad. I'm not complaining. Listen, it's doing us a favour, that's for sure. But it's massively going to affect their European charge. They're not in great form. 1 win in their last 5, 3 losses. We're in better. We've got 2 wins in our last 5. But they've had some really tough teams in there. Yes, they lost to Bournemouth, which they, team like that they should be expecting to beat. But they have had some tough games, and they'll be looking to bounce back now with Willian back, against West Ham. Though the thing is, Mitrovic has been, I think he scored 12 goals, and the next one down, I think it might be Willian or Dekova Reed with like 6 or something. So that's how much of an impact that Mitrovic has. Someone, a player that we've been linked with for many times, and he's really proved that he can be that player, this season, and not just the relegation battle striker and get you up from the Championship striker. He's proven to be a bona fide Premier League striker, and like I said, absolutely huge loss for them. But our gain, which really, and just because he's gone, I'm not going into it like a lot of our fans going, yeah, it's Fulham, we ain't got Mitrovic. Yeah, we lost to Newcastle, they're great, but we'll turn them over. Now we're going with morale on the floor. And like I said in my reaction, any little bit of morale boost we got from that narrow win over Southampton is dashed, just blown to smithereens after that 5-1 defeat to Newcastle. Honestly, I was shell-shocked after that game. Absolutely couldn't believe it. And now the players have got to pick themselves up, and we've got one away win in the league all season. And we've got to go to Craven Cottage, who are their fans, who are absolutely buzzing. They're going to be up for it, and they're going to smell blood on the back of our win. And so it's going to be a big ask for the players to pick themselves up. And just on the Moyes thing, look, I've wanted Moyes out for a while. I believe I was the first on this channel to turn. And, you know, it's not to say that I knew anything more than the others didn't. You know, I've always been predisposed not to like him, but I was sticking with him. And for a while, I thought, let's see. It was about October. I just thought, you know, this ain't right. Something's not right here. And this many months later, it's just not working. And I've been hesitant to sack him at this point. And, you know, it sounds crazy, but I don't want them to go out and rush into a point in the manager that we're going to have to sign on a long-term deal, you know. Like, we just go out and get Rodgers, or we just go out and get Potter. I want us to really think about this rather than being forced into it through circumstance. I want Moyes gone, but I'm thinking long term. Moyes has to go into the season regardless. I don't care if he wins the Conference League, keeps us up, gets us mid-table. He has to go. But it's about what we do in the summer, and I want us to take our time and really start looking for a quality manager. But, you know, they are sticking with him. He's definitely going to be our manager for the Fulham game. If we lose that, we have to go interim. Kevin Keane, obviously... I'm doing this by myself because Scott and all the other lads are at the FA Youth Cup game for West Ham. I got back too late, so that's why I'm doing this. But how great have they been, the youth, this season? Flying, you know, near the top of the table. I think last time I checked, they were at the top of the table, but they're fighting their title challenge. FA Cup final, Youth Cup final now, because they've won. Playing great football. Kevin Keane, why not give him the job till the end of the season, interim? Have him work with Nolan and give him the job till the end of the season. It can't hurt. Get the dark cloud away from the players' heads. This is so obvious. They're just drained by Moyes. They have no faith in him. You cannot tell me otherwise. All these reports have come out, you know, about what's been about unrest with the players and the coaching staff with Moyes' tactics and his attitude, his stinking rude attitude. Just lift that dark cloud out over the players' heads, and I honestly think we have a great group of players there. Just let them play, take the shackles off, and go for it. And that's what needs to happen. So we can't be sitting there and we've lost, but to Fulham, but narrowly. So yeah, we'll stick with him, or we've drawn. We've got some tough games coming up. We can't look at it and go, like we did with Newcastle. Newcastle are better than us. We can't expect to beat Newcastle, right? You know, we can't look at Fulham the same way. You know, we need wins. It doesn't matter where they are. We need to get wins. You know, we've got Arsenal after Fulham. You've got to expect 0 points there. Then we've got Bournemouth away. That's a game where we have to win. Although, again, another away game. Away form is shocking. Then we've got Liverpool at home. Palace away. Tough place to go for us. Man City away. Man United at home. Brentford away. We won there in the cup because they played their B team. Then Leeds at home and Leicester away. Again, away game. So we're going to have to get points from the games we're not expected to get points in. We're going to have to get some unexpected wins. And a win at Fulham would really go a long way to undo the damage of that Newcastle. It's obliterated our goal difference as well. But to get to 30 points, you know what I mean? You start to see the light at the tunnel. You start to see the home stretch. But this is the team we should play. And it's going to be Areola in goal. Should never have been dropped. I love Fabianski. He's been a great goalkeeper for the club, but his time's coming to an end now. And Areola is the future. You know, we signed him, paid 10 million for him. It's about 100 grand a week. Fabianski's fit again. He drops him, and puts Fabianski straight back in. Fabianski had a howler. And it's one of them games. I'm not saying he's a crap keeper. He's just coming to the end of his career, especially at this level. Yeah, I don't think Areola makes some of those mistakes. I'm not saying he's perfect, but he should never have been dropped. And now is the time to bring him back in. You can't start Fabianski again after that. Emerson, left back, he's been, quality overall for us. Gued, shocking that game. But overall, he's been quality. And I just think there's no one else there that you look and say, yeah. Then next to him, Zuma, again, was poor. I can say that about everyone, but it's Zuma. Who else are we going to put there? Then right back, Sufal comes back in for me. I'm not one of these ones who's writing off Carew. A lot of players, all the new signings are getting a grace period for me. I'm not fully judging them or writing any of these new signings off. One, especially one, first season in the Premier League for most of them. Two, joining an absolute shambles of a team who've been in awful form for the better part of 16 months. So not writing anyone off. Then midfield, Declan Rice, of course. I'm not hearing about all of this. He doesn't care. I see him, every week, at the stadium, coming over to fans. You can see he cares. You can absolutely see that boy cares. And yeah, of course he's in that team. Paqueta next to him. Bit of a bright spark in which is saying something, but I thought he was a good player. He's been good in the past few weeks. He's shown what he can do. He gets stuck in, and he makes things happen. So yeah, Paqueta. Right, this is where it gets interesting. On the left, Maxwell Cornet. I want to see him from the start. I want to see him start a game and see what he can do. Not just coming on and try and figure out the offside rule for 10 minutes and the full-time whistle blows. Let's see him from the start. Let's utilise his pace. In the middle, Said Benrahma. Let's put him in the middle. Souček out. I'm sick of seeing him there, right? Playing, just behind the striker, doing nothing. Just a passenger. He seems like a great bloke. Love him. Love his work rate and all of that passion, all of that stuff. No. He can't. Why does Moyes keep playing him? He keeps persisting, and people go, "Oh, it's not Moyes' fault we're losing. You're playing the same players that ain't doing anything. Has to be dropped. He's not offering anything to the team. Lanzini's on the bench. Fornals is on the bench. Flynn Downs. What has Flynn Downs got to do to get in this team? I know I've not put him in my lineup, but I'd have him over Souček every day of the bloody week. He comes on. And he looks lively. Why have we signed him? Souček's been awful for a long time now. And just waste of time putting him there. I don't understand what he's doing. But look, Benrahma for the creativity behind the striker. He's been one of our better players this season, which isn't saying much because we are where we are. Bowen on the right, no one else there. He's much improved. He was awful start of the season, but he's got better and he's a threat. He's always a threat, Bowen. And up front, Michail Antonio, who I thought had a decent game. Really, really and truly. He didn't have tons of shots on target, but we don't as a team anyway. Who does? How many times are we testing goalkeepers? At the end of the day, he made some great runs and, he caused trouble for defenders and he had a good game. You can't say it any other way. Ings, and I'm not blaming Ings because he's coming in again. We're not playing to his strengths. Another striker who we don't play to their strengths. The only strikers that we play to their strengths are wingers that we turn into strikers. So, it's the same old, same old. Scamacca, Aller, Hernandez, Ings. Hugo, we just don't play at all. We didn't play. So yeah, Ings, unless we're playing Ings with Antonio in some sort of fashion, Antonio on the wing or just behind him or just off him, full snipe, whatever. Ings, I don't want to see him start this game. That is the lineup. I think that gives us the best opportunity to win this game. But I'm not confident. But yes, prediction. Oh my God. I mean, I predicted 1-1 for the Newcastle game, and bloody hell, how silly do I look after that? But I'm going 1-1 again for the Fulham game. If we lose, there's no way they can stick with them. Surely you have to believe that this is the line that we go, wow, we're in free fall. Cut the cord, get Kevin Keane in as interim, and then let's find some time, spend some time finding the right replacement for the future. So, yeah, let me know your predictions. Check out all the fan cams. We had some good ones. So my reaction. There won't be a watch-along this weekend because me, Jace, and Damo are all going to a wedding up north. Or Midlands, I don't know. We're going to a wedding. So, unfortunately, there won't be one. But Nicky will be at the game, fan cams, all of that stuff. And, yeah, thank you for watching. One thing left to say. Come on, you irons.